Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Thomas. This is Super Cool Radio coming at you from Cheers Pub in South Bend, Indiana, where we just got rickrolled before this interview even started.
We did.
My guest this time, he is the guitarist for The Lonely Ones. Please welcome Jymmy.
Never gonna give you up. Did you see the video? Did you see the video of fucking Rick Astley doing the like coming up and doing an acoustic version of that?
No, I haven't.
Irish pub in, I think it was Philly. Might have been a Philadelphian pub in Ireland, but I don't remember. But yeah, he came up and like it was the coolest. It looked like a punk show, just in this little nook. It was so awesome. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right. It's your interview. You can feel free to interrupt me. I'm just the host. So before we really talk about anything, the biggest thing we have to talk about. There's a lot of talk going on about Bobaflex. Are you at liberty to say anything that's going on?
The people are talking, bro. The people are talking.
I know.
I heard word on the street. What would you like to know more specifically?
Well, what do you got?
We're playing some reunion shows. We got some music coming out. What do you want to know?
Well, okay, that was some good places to start. So I did see you guys are playing a music festival, which also will include The Lonely Ones.
Yeah.
How is that going to work?
Well, we're playing 2 separate days. It'll be a Saturday, The Lonely Ones, Sunday, Bobaflex. And yeah, I mean, it's, we're just going to have, there's a couple different people, not in the 2 bands, but we're all just going to be hanging out as a big happy family. And True goes on stage one day, and Jake and Sean go on stage the next day, and me and Tommy and Marty just sweat our asses off and work 2 in a row.
So what can people expect from seeing Bobaflex now that, obviously we're familiar with The Lonely Ones, people were familiar with Bobaflex, but now after a little bit of gap, what can people expect? I think that
it's going to highlight the differences between the 2 bands. Maybe this is my ego complaining into the universe, but I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough as how we did a pretty good job of staying in the rock genre, making it pretty delineated. It doesn't really sound like the same band. So I think that, maybe seeing the two bands back to back like that will give people a little more of, a front and center kind of view of what we've worked on to keep the two things separate.
Right. I do like that. I do like that you guys are, doing the reunion show. Do you prepare differently? You're going to prepare differently for a Bobaflex set compared to a Lonely One set?
Well, two things. Yeah. I'll be playing guitar, for the Lonely Ones and bass for Bobaflex. So there's that. At sound check today, I had to rebuild my bass rig just to make sure that it was all good for the show coming up with Bobaflex. And other than that, like we've actually been a lot more lax on the rehearsals for Bobaflex because we set a bunch of time aside, ahead of everything, and went in. And day one, we hadn't lost a step at all because we just played those songs so many times that we played and was like, oh, well, that was about 95% of the way there. So we could probably chill a little bit and not panic and rehearse every day for the next month.
So the muscle memory is still there.
Yeah. It turns out if you do something 700 times in a row, you're pretty good at it.
It's smooth sailing after 701.
Yeah, you try to come in at 650. That's how I know you're green. Pump.
That's right. For sure. Get to 701, then we'll talk,
701.
buddy. I'm only like 240, so for interviews, so I got a little bit of a ways to go.
Yeah. You'll get there though. 240. That's a lot of interviews.
It is a lot. Yeah. That's in the span of about 2.5 years. So,
are you at liberty to tell me what either the best or the worst one was?
Let's see. I would say the best was. I like all the interviews. I want to say that first. I liked all my interviews. The best one I would say was Pete Evick of Bret Michaels' band.
Yeah, love Pete.
It was a lot of fun. Plus, he really liked that I was from Indiana because he's a huge John Mellencamp fan. So we kind of connected all just right away. So I would say that. And I almost made him miss another interview. We talked so much.
He's a talkative dude. We had a string of shows we did with them over the course of about a year.
Really?
And everybody in that band, including Bret Michaels, are phenomenal people. But I think we all kind of somehow Pete gravitated to us. He was like hanging out in our bus till 5 a.m. not wanting to go back, hanging out with us. I'm tired, man. I got to go to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah, he was great to chat with. And he has his own candle company. And the cool thing about that, he gets his the wax he needs from Indiana. So I think that's why he really liked
wax capital of the world.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. You heard it here first, folks.
That's right. We're not just the crossroads of America.
No, so much more.
Oh, yeah, we have wax, too.
Crossroads of candle making.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That, too. Mm-hmm. Indiana should get on copywriting that, by the way. We're probably going to steal that.
Yeah. What's it called? White Barn? Are those made here?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Inside candle talk. Sorry, guys. I used to work for a company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then, so to follow up, so probably the worst was only it was on me, not on my guest. I interviewed Steph of City of the Week.
Yeah.
So I had this new setup as we have right now. You can't see it, but it's a new setup. And I forgot to put the phantom power on from my mic.
Oh, no.
So I was like 6 minutes into my interview, and I go, oh, no. Now, luckily, she was totally cool about it. And she's like, do you want to restart the interview? And I was like, I want to restart this interview, yes. So, yeah, which I almost made her late for another interview. So if you have another interview, I don't know if you do or not, but I'll make you late for that.
I've got an interview with a big old pizza. That's it.
Well, I'll make you late for that.
No, we'll eat it together on camera.
Okay,
that'll be the closing
first time
credits.
on Super Cool Radio.
Yeah,
so
scroll through just with some real funky 70s music. We're just pulling the cheese out real far.
Sounds good to me. So it'd be the first time for Super Cool Radio is eating pizza. All right, so we got a little off track. One more thing I want to talk about Bobaflex. What are the future plans after this music fest? Is there going to be more shows? Is there going to be more music? Like, what are the plans for Bobaflex?
Yeah, we're doing right now. I know this is really new to a lot of people. The announcement of Bobaflex playing these shows and all that. We just announced another one July 23rd in Columbus, Ohio, which is where we all live. And I know it seems kind of out of the blue to everybody that was a fan of Bobaflex and, wasn't really talking to us on a personal level. But this is what we wanted to do was, when we left and started the Lonely Ones, we wanted it to be a, full-time touring thing. And that was kind of our, releasing singles and going to radio and playing the shows. We wanted Bobaflex to be a studio project that would occasionally, 3-4 times a year, play a concert. And so this has really been our plan for a long time. We just we were so busy getting the Lonely Ones off the ground that there wasn't time for it, 9 months ago.
So this is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
This is exactly what we wanted to be doing 2 years ago. We just weren't able to get it right until now.
Well, very cool. I definitely, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to make the music fest, but I do hope you guys have a great time with Bobaflex and the Lonely Ones. Now, it is interesting. I talk to people, and I was like, I'm interviewing the Lonely Ones, and most people I talk to go, "Who's that?" And I go, "Do you know Bobaflex?" "Oh, I know Bobaflex." Yeah. I go, "Okay, it's almost very similar."
Every time you hear that, please tell them who the hell we are, because it's about 50-50 if they put 2 and 2 together. And I have to go. You have to do the weird, awkward thing where you go, I was in Bobaflex, and then if they don't know, you feel like a douchebag because you're saying it like it's supposed to ring a bell. And there's no win on that.
Yeah, I was talking to some guy in Chicago because he asked me what my upcoming interviews were, and I was like, "Oh, the Lonely Ones." And he's like, and I was like, "It's Bobaflex." "Oh, I used to see them all the time. They toured a lot." And I go, "Yes, they're still doing that."
We're doing it different band. Yes, to really to give you the bare bones of it. It's 2 separate bands that we have 2 different goals with. Yeah. I think is the best way to put it. I
think it's very cool. I think definitely you got your studio project, but also you got the full-time touring with the Lonely Ones, which you guys got a bunch of great shows coming up.
Yeah, we do.
So I do want to hit on that a little bit because I know you guys were just in Joliet last night. You're here in South Bend tonight. How does it feel full-time touring? What are some of the cool venues you guys have been to?
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I mean, I could list so many, and I could list the obvious ones like the Machine Shop is a classic venue. Newport Music Hall, Alrosa Villa, RIP in Columbus, Ohio. There's a million of them, but to give you one that I think people aren't aware of, there's a place that we still talk about called the Goss Opera House in Watertown, South Dakota. That I didn't know it from a hole in the ground. And we got a gig opening for Blacktop Mojo there. And, they're a band where they're at that size where they could be playing small clubs or, huge halls. So you don't even know based off what the band is, what the venue's going to be like. We walk in, it is the most historical, literally an opera house. And they had all these stories of a woman was burned alive in this room up here. We got to go see that room, and it looked like if you were to watch just really any old West, 1880s to 1910s movie. They still had it all decorated like that. The only thing that was modern was the modern wood floor and the PA. So it was literally like walking into a time capsule and playing there.
Damn, that sounds really cool.
Really cool. It was so awesome. And I want to go back. I don't know if we're big enough to go back there and play on our own yet, but that's one of my goals is to get us back there. It was so awesome.
That's a good goal to have.
Yeah.
That is definitely a good goal to have. I think you guys got it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
If not, send Bobaflex.
Yeah, yep. Hey, get the Kelly Leak in here. That's a 70s joke for all you kids out there.
A little before my time.
Me too.
Okay.
Come on, man. I saw Bad News Bears as a kid.
I have not.
It's a good movie. You should check it out.
It is on Netflix. I feel like it's on Netflix. I know they took off most of the library.
Kelly Leak is the badass kid that has a motorcycle and he's tougher than everybody else. And they bring him in. He's basically a ringer. Kelly Leak is a shorthand for a ringer badass you bring in.
Gotcha. So
I'm not from the 70s. I'm not. I was probably.
I didn't think so, but
I was gonna say. I just want to tell everybody. I was born in the 90s.
I was, sort of, if you count 97.
Yeah, that's 90s. I'm older than that.
I don't remember most of them.
I remember some of the 90s. I recollect the premiere of SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice.
Yeah, historic moments in American history.
It is. I sometimes quote that to myself sometimes.
Yeah, Louisiana Purchase, SpongeBob premiere.
Oh, yeah.
2 big moments.
Definitely. All right, sorry, we're getting a little off track, but
I'm not good at this, bro. I keep taking it all over the place.
hey, that's all right. I'm the host. It's my job to try to redirect everything.
You can try.
Where I was gonna go. So now with you guys in February released a new single,
Yeah.
"The Way Out," which I very much enjoy.
Thank you.
How what's like the writing and recording process for you guys?
We don't really have like a regular process. It's different every time. That one, to give you a real specific example, that was when I was still playing bass in the Lonely Ones, and it was Marty and Tommy and I were hanging out one day. I'm not admitting Jake for any reason; he just didn't happen to be there that day. And we were hanging out. And we were writing something, and it wasn't really going well. Nobody was in love with it, and we went over to the bar, and I got loaded. If I'm being honest with you, I had a few too many.
Off to a great start on the process.
Yeah, and came back and I started just messing around on the bass, and Tommy got behind the drums, and Marty was outside maybe on a phone call or something, and ran in and went, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, I was just messing around," and that was The Way Out. That was basically the song minus the lyrics and the bridge was just us lubricated in a rehearsal space.
So you're telling so a great way to start building a song is to get hammered.
I don't know if I'm going to recommend that, but I will say that any chemical you put into your body is going to rearrange the way your synapses fire. You're going to think differently, and you're going to maybe remove some inhibitions you have when it comes to creative process.
Fair.
I'll leave it at that.
Very fair. So for you guys, I feel it is a little bit of a different. It's got a little different mood for The Way Out compared to like some of the other songs. Like I know, like Change the Station,
Yeah.
a very charged, hard rocking song. The cover of Flash was very unexpected. So this one, I think, it just got a little bit of a different mood for it. And for you, what are your favorite songs to play live?
For me, let's see. Like when I was playing bass, it was The Way Out. It was Real Big Trouble. It's Change the Station. Now that I don't like that loud music.
Nope, I don't either. We're gonna be wrapping this up soon anyway.
Now that I'm on guitar, Change the Station still one. I love Time Bomb, which is a song that's not out yet, but that's a very fun song to play on guitar. It's just kind of all over the place.
So real quick, so obviously you made the change from bass to guitar now for performing live. Any big difference for you? Any kind of learning curve? Or you just you're just good at it? You just said I'll do it.
I was always a pretty good guitar player, but as far as how it interacts with the band, you kind of got to rewrite your brain more than your hands. I can play the scales, I can play the licks. I sat down and learned the solos, got them, whatever. It wasn't a huge deal, but it's the mental aspect. Bass fills a very different role in a band than guitar, especially lead guitar does. Yeah. So. I had to stop thinking like a bass player. I had to stop listening to the kick drum so much, trying to lock in and get all that. It doesn't sound right when you do it quite like that on guitar as much. I like to lay back, breathe, kind of think more melodically than rhythmically.
I think that's definitely a good way, and that's obviously the bass is kind of tied to the drums because obviously it's a rhythm section. Guitar, you got a little bit of more freedom to do some cool stuff and have a little bit more fun. I think. Yeah. Even though bass players can have fun too. It's all right.
I had a lot of fun on bass, but I also have a lot of fun on guitar. It's different fun. Like going to see a movie versus a roller coaster. It's not the same thing, but they're great.
That is a very good way to getting a little deep here.
I came up with that right now.
I'm gonna have to quote that if I ever have a newspaper.
Just like this, pull it. Gold.
All right. So as I'm wrapping this up, what is your one favorite moment from the Lonely Ones?
My favorite moment in the Lonely Ones, and I would say this is probably my favorite moment in my performing career, was back in August of this past year. We have a song called Horrible Things. It's not out yet. And we hired a gospel choir to sing on it, right? Now, when I tell you, that's awesome. And the song's great. I think it's one of the best songs we've ever written, recorded and all that. We're playing that song on and off live, and we hired a gospel choir to come out and perform live on stage with us. And it was like, didn't tell the crowd. They didn't know. They don't even know the song. They have no idea what's going on. We just kill the lights, play this little intro. So, so there's flash. You can see people are moving around on the stage, but you can't tell what's going on. That was intentional. And next thing you know, as soon as it hits, lights up this 8-person choir. And they're they're standing there. They're wearing all black. It was, and there's video of it on YouTube. You can see it if you look up The Lonely Ones Live Newport, horrible thing, something like that.
I'll drop a link for it in the description.
You can see me get physically like excited and like start acting up. It was like a kid that got an N64 or something. I was losing it on stage. Had chills going. I'm getting chills now just thinking about it. It was a borderline religious moment for me.
That sounds like an incredible experience, and I do like, because rock is very versatile. Like I know, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers did a song where they included a choir. Yeah. I think that was Under the Bridge.
Under the Bridge,
yeah, and Alter Bridge played a whole show with a English symphony.
Yeah,
so like that's always cool to give those a little bit of outside the box elements, and it works very well when done right.
Yeah. That's something that I'd love to, as we grow as a band, as budgets expand, being honest, I'd love to have things like that where every tour to whatever, we come through and play, and there's something completely unique that you've never seen before. There's a battle rapper that I listened to. He said something real interesting about it. It's not about like what you're bringing to the table. It's not just about the quality of the songs or the quality of the rhymes in that case or whatever. There's got to be some hook to it that nobody has ever seen before. And that really kind of stuck with me, that, you can't just go up there and be really good. It's not good enough.
I definitely agree. And honestly, that is the challenge nowadays, because you have to think of something or innovate something that hasn't been seen or done before. And honestly, with the history of music, there is so many great things that have happened. Yeah. So to put the little spin on it, put your own kind of style on it, it is a challenge.
Yeah, it's very difficult. So when we feel like we've really had that moment, really try to run with it and make sure that it's elevated to the highest degree.
Exactly. So now for you, as I'm wrapping up this interview, because again, we're almost out of time. So what are the plans for the Lonely Ones for the rest of this year? It's almost June, so you got about half a year left of this year.
We're gonna be hitting it all summer. Festivals, some support gigs, some headliners. We got the biggest festival of our career, the two biggest festivals of our career actually. We got tomorrow we're playing at Bratfest in Madison, Wisconsin, nice. And then we're playing at Blue Ridge Rock Festival in September. I don't think I'm supposed to say what day yet. But yeah, we're playing that festival, and then we've got some stuff that gonna be putting out more music. If the stars align and a couple things that we're waiting on, finding out about, come together, we'll probably have a record out later. That depends on a few things, of course. Got to make sure that all the ducks are in a row. But we'll definitely be putting out more songs. Probably have one out, mid-late summer. I don't want to say which one it is yet, but it's a good one.
Well, I definitely look forward to it. I've loved all the singles so far. I've been listening to them this whole week. Preparing, also having fun for this interview. So I definitely look forward to everything you guys have in the works. And if anyone's interested, where can they find the Lonely Ones online?
Everywhere, anywhere. Social medias, Facebook. I'm talking Instagram. I'm talking Twitter. I'm talking TikTok. You want to listen to music? You know where you get your music. I ain't need to tell you. If you listen to music online, it's there.
That's right. Make sure to see them live when you can, or see Bobaflex, or both. Up to you.
Definitely both.
But for Jymmy of the Lonely Ones, I'm your host as always, Matthew Thomas. Please check out all the links in the description. Stream support, give a like to the Lonely Ones, and remember, stay frosty.
Stay frosty, bitch.
I can't say it any better. I really can't. That might be a little much. All right, we're out of here. Woo!